We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Rocking in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 460 of the New York Knicks podcast, part of the Almighty Baller Podcast Network and Dash Radio. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
Good. I want to read you on Deadspin. There was an article on the Knicks, and someone had a great comment. I don't know who this person is, so I'm reading their comment anyway. Marty Collins averaged nearly a triple-double in April 2007. Alex Shved averaged 20 points a game in April 2015. Langston Galloway and Willie Hernangomez played well enough to make the all-rookie teams. Just last year, Trey Burke had a 42-point, 12-assist game in April. I am reading that because I want to now declare Mario Hejonza the greatest point guard of all time.
So there's just something in the air in April when the Knicks are 30 games under 500 and have been eliminated from the playoffs for a month. That's when they really come out to shine.
Yes, crazy stuff happens in a terrible season in April, and crazy stuff happens during bad seasons. That said, Mario Hejonza looks as good as any point guard we've had in the last few years, and if I'm Frank Ntilikina, I am feeling really terrible about myself right now.
He's like, I just moved to fifth in the guard rotation.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, these guys probably won't all be on the team next year. Most of them will not. But right now, realistically, in no order, Hejonza, Mudiay, unfortunately, Dennis Smith Jr., anyone else?
Kadeem Allen.
Kadeem Allen is even arguably ahead of Ntilikina. The way Mario Hejonza played, you're like, why can't Ntilikina do any of this?
I would say Kadeem Allen's definitely ahead of Frank.
I would say if Frank Ntilikina had played the last three games like Mario Hejonza, who got a triple-double, who looked 30 points to help us beat the Wizards, if he put up the stats Hejonza had done in the last three games, the fan base would lose their goddamn minds and call Frank Ntilikina the second coming of Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
But are you buying into Mario Hejonza's point guard play?
I'm starting to think that maybe he has been playing the wrong position.
It does kind of look like that. Not that he's all that amazing, but
he's got good court vision, and he made some really nice passes, like better passes than I've seen most of the guards on the Knicks make.
I mean, it's really also we have a very low bar for what we think is good, tolerable even at the point guard position. That watching Mario Hejonza, you're like, maybe this could work. Who the hell even knows? I'm
not saying I want him as our point guard of the future, but I am saying that I think he might be better at that position than he was at the 4 or whatever the hell they were playing him at.
I think I'm at the point where I would, first of all, we have 2 more games left to go in the season. I would kind of love if there were like 10 more games to go in the season just to watch more of this Hejonza action. And when the Knicks sign no one this offseason and fall the 5th in the draft and can't get even a good point guard in the draft, I'm down for bringing Hejonza back to give him some more point guard minutes.
For how much?
He gets $5 million this year. Give him $5 million next year. Whatever. A 1-year deal. A 1-year deal, and I'll give him more money because we have to fill our salary cap anyway. There's a salary. There's a floor you have to fill anyway. So if you want $7 million, who gives a crap? I'm assuming that Durant and no one else signs here.
Gotcha.
But would you be down if nothing works out as far as the draft or free agency? As far as if we draft John Morant, obviously you don't need Hejonza back. But if no one signs you,
hold on one second.
Yeah, you back?
Yeah, sorry to
no.
interrupt.
So Jay, how do you explain Hejonza's sanity?
Well, I think it's kind of like a quarterback situation where he's taller, so he has better vision and angles to make passes, and he seems to have just good instinct on where players should be.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair. He seemed so. how do you explain the fact that he was so goddamn lost this entire season and suddenly looks good now at the point guard position?
Yeah, I was at the game with my buddy Paul last night, and I must have said that to him like 5 or 6 times. Like, I don't understand how he was so bad for 5 straight months.
I maybe he is one of those guys that really operates best. I mean, he's very athletic, but maybe he does not operate well without the ball. He's not necessarily a good off the ball player, but if you give him the ball and tell him he's kind of going to control the offense, maybe there's something there.
Maybe. I mean, he's really good.
It is weird though, because you look at those stats, you look at all those things. Like you look at Hernan Gomez and Langston Galloway being like all like second team all rookie players, or first team all rookie players. Their first season. You look at like Marty Collins' numbers, or you look at those numbers. Trey Burke putting up 42 points in April last year. There's a good chance this is all a mirage, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a chance of that. But again, he's playing a different position, so maybe it really was the position he was playing.
I mean, he played against the Rockets. He had the best plus-minus on the Knicks against the Rockets, but the Rockets did crush the Knicks by like 30 points. He played a Wizards team that barely seemed to care 30 games ago.
You know who cares about throwing shirts into the crowd?
Who cares about throwing shirts in the crowd?
Dwight Howard, a lot.
What are you referring to? Are you changing topics, Jay? I thought we were going to talk about I thought we were going to do a 17-hour podcast on Mario Hejonza.
I was talking about last night's game. Every time
I don't know. What happened?
Every time there was a break and the cheerleaders are throwing shirts into the crowd, like Dwight would jump up and grab a shirt and throw it into the crowd and get super happy. Like, I guess that's his thing.
Did I miss something? Did Dwight play last night?
No, he was in a jersey, but they didn't play them.
Actually, until you actually mentioned him, I forgot he hadn't retired.
Yeah, he's dressed, but he's not playing.
Anyway, so this week has been all about. I mean, Mitchell Robinson is still awesome, but we're all kind of excited by our new toy, which is Mario Hejonza at point guard. Which, by the way, Moutier. The quick story of Moutier: he has been sitting out because he wants to stay healthy for free agency. You've heard that, right?
I have not heard that, but
supposedly Fizdale is resting him so he can because he doesn't want to get hurt because multiple teams are interested in Moutier.
Good, that's good news.
As long as those teams aren't the Knicks, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
like I'm cool with the Knicks like driving him to interviews with other teams. We have a special guest joining us today. He was supposed to join us last week, Robert Silverman, and we're going to get him now and come back with him and talk to Silverman all about these amazing Knicks.
All right, we are back with Robert Silverman. Thank you for joining us, Robert.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Robert has been covering the Knicks for a long time, and sadly, it's only sad. So last night, Jay here went to the Knicks game last night. Jay, what was the stadium like? What was the arena like? Sorry.
Well,
yeah.
It was quiet in the beginning, but when they made that comeback, it was so loud. The place was jumping. It was people just wanted to win. I think it was. Everyone was
the arena
into it.
Was the arena jam packed? Was it like just full crowd?
Almost, yeah. I'd say
Robert, what the hell's wrong with our fan base? We have won like 15 games, and we pack a stadium for game number 79 of the worst season in Knicks history.
Look, are you telling me you don't want to pay triple digits in order to experience the full Mario Hejonza point guard renaissance? Is that you're saying that's a bad night's entertainment? Because I might disagree with you there.
The Hejonza sanity has not reached peak level, but we were just saying before you got on that we're enjoying this.
Look, Mario Hejonza, let's say I don't know what you want to call him, a poor man's Thomas Satoransky, a rich man's Alexei Shved. I don't know how you would what pale like Eastern European basketball player should we compare him to? Yes, he's absolutely give Sato full control. Give Super Mario full control of the offense for 48 minutes, and let's see what happens. Why not?
Would he be a post-mortem Luka Doncic?
Oh God, that's a terrible comparison. Look, my favorite part about Mario Hejonza's game is like even before this little Renaissance, this small sample size theater explosion that he had. Every game, he would do one thing that would make you think, "Oh yeah, that's a perfectly reasonable rotation player, and even a very good NBA player." But that was entirely snowed under by the rest of his court time, which would be filled with so many head scratching and downright stupid moments that it would make you wonder, did he just learn basketball 2 days ago? There was a very fine blog in Deadspin today which speculated that watching Mario was like if the most athletic guy who tried to assassinate Archduke Ferdinand got dropped into the 21st century and was told to give the NBA game a shot. That's what watching Mario is like. And I think that's shouts to Gavrilo Princip. That's a very accurate description.
Yeah. So I read that article also, and that was first of all, that was an amazing quote, which I also had sent to Jay. There was I don't know if you looked at the comment section. Someone had an amazing, which I'm not attributing to the person, but because I forgot to put that guy's name on it, but they had an amazing comment under that article pointing out just the aberrations that happen in terrible seasons and in April of terrible seasons.
Yeah.
He pointed out, I read this earlier to Jay, but Marty Collins nearly averaged a triple-double in April 2007. Alex Shved averaged 20 points a game in April 2015.
Alexei Shved was better per 36 minutes than Dwayne Wade for a hot 5 minutes in 2015. I was there. I saw it. I blogged about it. I wrote a long article in Vice comparing Alexei Shved to the experience of watching Russian car dash cam crash videos.
Langston Galloway and Willie Hernangomez played well enough to make all rookie NBA teams. And just last year, our man Trey Burke had 42 points, 12 assists in an April game.
Oh, the unsustainable Trey Burke mid-range explosion.
Yes.
Which
all leads to the unsustainable April mirages or things that happen in terrible seasons. That being said, I am loving the Mario Hezonja experience, and he looks as good as any point guard we've had out there the last few years because our bar for being okay at point guard is trash.
Did you see that video of DeAndre Jordan, now noble veteran sage ball player, fixing Mario Hezonja's over-gelled haircut?
No, I did not see that.
There's literally, he's like a mom, and I think he practically licks his fingertips and tries to screw back his Hitler Youth haircut into place before sending him into the game. It's delightful.
I'm starting to really like DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan is legitimately fun if a completely useless basketball player at this point.
Yeah.
Well, he's a good enough passer to be as good a point guard as anyone else on the team.
Yeah, the whole running the offense through DeAndre Jordan experiment was kind of funky. I didn't know that DeAndre Jordan could make competent passes from the elbow. And we know that.
Is it amazing after watching DeAndre Jordan operate a point guard, basically as running the offense through him, then watching Mario Hezonja, and then thinking back to what we've seen from Frank Ntilikina and going, why can't you run the offense? We want you to run the offense, Ntilikina.
I will go to my deathbed believing that Frank can be a quality NBA point guard. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I will never give up that ghost.
I mean,
never, ever.
Mario Hezonja in the last 3 games has looked better than Frank Ntilikina. Mario Hezonja playing a new position for the first time in his life looked so much more competent than Frank Ntilikina's looked the whole time here.
He's 3 years older than him. It's not a fair comparison. Come back to Frank in 3 years, and we'll talk.
He's adapting to our country already. Come on.
Matt, look, Frank Ntilikina at the under-18 FIBA championships.
At things that don't matter in the NBA.
He put up a 20.8 assist, 5 rebound game. So
did you forget? First of all, there's 2 sides to the game. There's defense also. And do you remember how Frank played defense last season? Not this season, last season. He might do that again sometime.
I legitimately believe that I will go. Look, I've done this before. I legitimately believed that Mike Sweetney could be
Go on.
A valuable Danny Fortson-esque power forward in the NBA. and I still believe that if he hadn't sort of eaten himself out of the league, but he could have been good. I still think John Wallace can be a scoring small forward next to Patrick Ewing.
At some point, I said to Jay, "Why don't they give Andy Rottens minutes? Let's just try him out."
Who didn't enjoy the Andy and Landry show? That was some fine content.
Yeah.
Today's
Here's a question for you.
Let's remember some Knicks that we enjoy.
It is fun to name random players that used to be on the Knicks because for a lot of the last 15 years, there's just been random names.
Lee Nailon.
I was a big Lee Nailon fan.
I believed in Lee Nailon. I thought Quintel Woods could have a comeback season. I liked Frank Williams for those 5 games before they acquired Marbury.
So here's the question for you, a more serious question.
Sure.
Should they try in these last...
Excuse me. There is no more serious topic to me than Lee Nailon. But in any case, continue.
James White, he could dunk and, just get in the ball. He'll dunk every time.
James White, by the way, I followed James White on Twitter when he was during the brief stretch when he was a starter in name only on that 2012-13 team. Right. And it's a fun Twitter follow because it's not sanitized in any way. And sometimes he'll just be he'll tweet early in the morning man, fuck this. And that's it for him. It's like he'll alternate between that and sort of inspirational Bible-scented quotes about, conquering the world and it's a new day. And sometimes he'll be like, man, I got to fucking wake up again. And I was like, all right, James White, now you're speaking my truths. I feel very seen by James White's early morning tweets.
My favorite Knicks Twitter account the last 15 years was, did JR miss? And it would just be yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was kind of genius. I assume that's no longer up. But so here's a more serious question for you.
Sure.
Should the Knicks try out? We would try Hejonza at point guard. Should they try out Kevin Knox at point guard to force him to pass the goddamn ball once in a while?
No, don't be ridiculous.
I mean,
that's a stupid idea. What the hell is wrong with you?
I just want them to learn how to pass. Come on. Just everyone gets a shot at point guard.
Look, I would like to learn how to dunk. It doesn't mean I'm going to figure it out in the next week and a half, does it? No, I don't care if the Knicks started me or not. Look, Kevin Knox is progressing in his own Kevin Knoxy kind of way. It's fine. He's not good at passing. That's okay.
He's not. You don't know if you're good at something until you've tried it out.
He doesn't do it because it's not. Look, Kevin Knox does what he does. He's going to shoot or try one of those. I am a cocker spaniel and I see a shiny object forays to the rim. That's what the man does. He's still a youth. Give him time.
There was some play last night. I forget where in the game it was, where Kevin Knox was driving. Was basically on the fast break. They were open shooters. It was the most obvious play that you want to pass.
No. Kevin Knox is driving right into the chest of some dude.
That's exactly what he. I mean, basically, it should say the next Twitter account will be, "Did Kevin Knox pass?" And it'll just say, "No."
That's not what he does. That's not what our man does.
Please
don't ask him to change his nature. That is not what he's good at.
They said around All-Star break, they told Kevin Knox, "We want you to work on efficiency." And he has gotten more efficient. The last 15 or so games, even though it's been hard to notice.
What's he like? He's 43% from the field, 40% from three-point line. That's
just
by the way,
yeah.
my superpower is the ability to know what Kevin Knox's shooting line is at any point in the game without looking it up on the ESPN scores page. I just know. I'm like, oh, he's 5 for 14, and I just have that knowledge embedded in my soul.
Well, you could also just say 5 for 14 in any fourth quarter of most of the games. You're probably going to be correct.
Right. I mean, granted, there's a little bit of, it's not that hard to guess what his number is going to be, but I do keep that in my head without even trying. That's sort of my chief skill.
Do you think so? Kevin Knox, who is I think rated as the worst defender in rookie history.
Yes, he's bad at it. He's not
bad
good
at defense, but he's getting more efficient on offense.
Yes.
Maybe Knicks will say, "Hey, next season, let's work on passing." He'll work on one skill at a time.
No. Look, if in the next 5 years he becomes a guy who can just move the ball when someone's closing out on a 3-point shot, you take that. He's been doing that occasionally. When he gets out in transition, that's Kevin Knox time. He's not going to change that. You cannot make him stop doing that.
Do you think we could give him a GPS so he knows where to be on defense?
Look,
he just leaves his man. He just kind of follows sometimes the ball. I still believe there's potential. I mean, obviously there's potential.
He has the potential to be a decent defender. He's long. He's quick. He's not Andrea Bargnani. The tools are there. Then again, Amari Stoudemire was at one point equally long and quick and never learned how to do the defense, ever.
Right. He was also on a team that didn't, it wasn't like he had a defensive mentor in Mike D'Antoni.
Hey, those Phoenix teams finished, I think 16th one year, and that was the high point of the D'Antoni defensive era.
Their goal was outscore everyone. They did.
They got half. Look, the Knicks finished with the 5th best defensive rating in the 2011-2012 season, half of which was under D'Antoni's stewardship. So he does. Look, the thing about D'Antoni, it's not that he doesn't know how to coach defense or he doesn't care about defense. He does. He will just defer to having the more skilled offensive player on the floor. But he absolutely values a dude like, PJ Tucker or last year Trevor Ariza. He will play defensive guys. Let's not get any Mike D'Antoni slander into this podcast. I will not stand for it, sir.
The Rockets look pretty good. You are correct. I'm not going to knock D'Antoni. I mean, he looks like I watched the Rockets. I'm like, wow, can we ever get a coach like D'Antoni?
Mike D'Antoni is a great coach. The only places he ever failed are New York and then a season in LA when he was dealing with Kobe's bullshit. So that'll Mike D'Antoni knows his shit. Mike D'Antoni is one of the better coaches in NBA history, full stop.
So he's a good coach as long as he doesn't have to deal with Kobe Bryant or Carmelo Anthony's bullshit, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I am in a couple of slacks with some journalist types, and I have been told that actually, no, Carmelo Anthony is good, and it's only because of the Knicks' Knicksiness that they ruined him. And I tried to argue otherwise about the ways in which Carmelo Anthony, let's just say some of his poorer instincts led to worse outcomes than would have been ideal, and I was told to shut the fuck up.
Were those people ignoring Houston and Oklahoma City?
Those, Carmelo being washed now is not relevant to the Knicks fucking up Carmelo Anthony per these dudes who will remain unnamed.
He was 32 on the Thunder.
I would make the argument that, the Knicks also won 54 games with Carmelo Anthony. In Carmelo Anthony, the Knicks wasted some years of Carmelo Anthony. Kind of once that 54 season happened, they kind of just trashed the team. They could have been a playoff team for a couple more years. Not a title team.
Let's not reiterate the random trades of Glenn Grunwald. I don't know if I have the stomach for that.
The Knicks destroyed it was disaster. Let's avoid the Carmelo Anthony era for the rest of the show.
I don't know how we got to this point. Meanwhile, we were discussing whether Kevin Knox should play point guard, and the answer is still no. So.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Yeah, I obviously meant that more jokingly. But what do you think? So Knox going forward, do you think he's still does he have potential to be a starter in this league? And what position?
Yeah, he does, but he's not going to be a Knick next year. You guys know that, right?
He's not going to be a Knick? Tell us more.
No. Look, my guess, and this is based on no actual insider information, I do think they're going to sign Durant. I think they've got a better than average shot of signing Kyrie, but it doesn't matter. Once they sign Durant, they're going to trade every single young dude off for veterans.
Well, there was a player poll, and the players' poll came out.
They
said that Durant was going to the Knicks, and Durant swore he would follow what the poll said.
Every single. There was one person who, when posed that question, answered NBA, which I'm entirely convinced was Kevin Durant.
I'm pretty sure. I'm only interested in one player's opinion about where Kevin Durant's going.
Look, from speaking to people who are in a position to have this kind of insider knowledge, they all think Kevin Durant is going to the Knicks. They don't really understand why, but they feel like that's what he's decided. I think I have never, for all the years in which the Knicks name has been bandied about with free agency. You know, when Grant Hill was trying to drive up his price, when freaking Michael Jordan was trying to drive up his price, and Reggie Miller was trying. Like, for years, the Knicks have been used as a stalking horse for every, star NBA player who wanted to get a better deal. But that said, and maybe this is just the times that we're living in, I have never heard or seen, rather, this much smoke about a potential free agent. As they're like, when LeBron was rumored to be going to the Lakers the year before it happened, there was some talk, but there was not this amount of, oh yeah, he's going, and it's probably New York.
The only, I mean, obviously, I would, first of all, Golden State, what better offer could you like? We're using the Knicks to drive up your price. We're Golden State. We're ready to give you max money and let you win the title every year.
There's no price to be driven up.
You get the title every year. Yeah.
I really think Kevin Durant. Look, my view is that what Kevin Durant did is this. Kevin Durant, when he was extremely good with with Oklahoma City, still had to hear that Russell Westbrook was actually more cool and fun, which is true. And he tried to make it work with that team, and it didn't. And he thought, people will see me as great when I win titles. So he went to Golden State and won titles. And not only did people not like him more, they seemed to like him less. And so now his thinking is, okay, let me lower the bar. Because if I can get the Knicks to consistent second-round appearances, people will hail me as a great and wondrous and noble god.
Well, I think
might not be wrong.
But Kevin Durant comes here. The bar is obviously it'd be just having Kevin Durant here, being a true contender, would be amazing. But for him, he still has to win a title here.
What's going to happen with Kevin Durant? I think what he wants to do is I think he's sick of all this sharing the spotlight with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. And what Kevin Durant is going to do here is he's going to be if Kevin Durant comes to the Knicks, he's going to be the kind of ball dominating ball hog that would make Carmelo Anthony blush.
Do you?
He's going to convince everyone everyone loves James Harden because he scores 36 a game. I can do that.
Hey,
do you know? Will absolutely do that.
When the Knicks sign a player, when anyone signs a player, I know they do a medical exam. Do they do a psychological exam? Because if Kevin Durant signs here, there's no way he could pass a psychological.
I don't think you can. I think labor laws prohibit that kind of thing.
Okay, so he can be because he'll have to be absolutely crazy to come here. But,
no, I don't think he's crazy. I think what he wants is what Kevin Durant. I mean, I think we've seen this from his rando burner accounts. What Kevin Durant more than anything wants to be considered the best player in the NBA. He wants to be considered better than Jordan, than LeBron, and also Giannis, and also Harden. And he wants to be the guy while doing that because he realized that winning titles didn't make anyone think more of him. In fact, it made whatever you want to classify the great unwashed NBA fandom sort of collectively think less of him.
He has players like Richard Jefferson calling him out.
Yeah. He's just a kind of weird and seemingly thin-skinned dude. I mean, the thing that I find interesting throughout all of this, he keeps complaining about reporters and fans asking him questions about where he's going to go next year. And he could end that in 2 seconds. He could say, I'm going to resign, or he could say, I'm not going to resign. And people would stop asking him questions about it because it would be done. He sort of simultaneously hates that attention, and we saw that when he decided to weirdly try to humiliate Ethan Strauss in that press conference. And Ethan was just doing his job and reporting what other people had said, and Durant took it as a kind of a personal attack. And he's just a kind of, he comes across as, look, I am not his therapist. I have not sat him down for a full diagnosis, so I'm not making any kind of psychoanalytic determination. But the way he comes across is that as a dude who is fundamentally kind of insecure. And, of course, that's the perfect thing for the New York media market. That'll be outstanding. It'll be like A-Rod, but more.
Well, the NBA has become a soap opera. is become a soap opera where the offseason is just as interesting as the regular season.
Right.
And players are not all that comfortable with the fact that it's become a soap opera where they have to like talk about free agency the entire season.
It's a very weird thing. Like the NBA obviously likes the fact that they get attention year round and that people are paying attention to their product. You know.
But the reason everyone makes so much money, the players make so much money, is because they can turn it into a soap opera, which draws fans' interest and make more money.
The reason they make so much money has to do with like ongoing cable rights fees agreements, which is going to come crashing down. It's not necessarily about the fact that like people are cranking out, blogs about the summer league in July. It's about TV money, which is we're getting a little bit far afield.
Okay, here's a question for you. Going a different way with this. I'm sure you saw the LeBron James and Durant whisper thing where they covered their mouths and talked to each other. Did you see this?
No, I missed that one.
I
saw the Durant Kyrie like whispering ones. I missed the LeBron Durant
when
ones.
the Golden State were playing the Lakers the other night. I guess it was earlier this week or maybe it was last week. LeBron and Durant had a little moment where they covered their mouths while talking to each other, but the whole thing was filmed. Like the whole thing was, they caught this on the cameras, and they were having a little like back and forth, and everyone was wondering what they were saying to each other. And we don't know what they're saying to each other, but I'm fairly certain LeBron was saying to Durant, "This is miserable. Look at what I'm going on in LA. Do not sign with the Knicks." Do you think his story in LA is a cautionary tale to Durant?
I think LeBron was telling him that he should watch the new season of Barry on HBO, starring Bill Hader, which is a delightful broadcast and features the wonderful talents of Bill Hader and Henry Winkler. That's what I think he was talking about.
He probably was saying the best thing that Bill Hader could do with his career is star in a role where he's not really comedic.
Yes. Because, Tears of a Clown Man. No one can do tragedy like that, like the clowns can.
Oh, Bill Hader's so funny. Barry, I'm a little mixed on Barry. It's not bad. I think it's a little overrated. I haven't watched the second season yet. Have
you read the Bill Hader profile that's in the New Yorker from about 3 weeks or a month ago?
I did not.
It's by Tad Friend, noted New York schlong former. But it's incredibly good. And has all of these Bill Hader quotes where he talks about how when he was on Saturday Night Live, he would wake up every morning on the Saturday when they were going to film, and he would like go into the shower and cry and pound the walls saying, "I suck, I suck, I suck. Please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this."
Does he realize that would be the greatest show ever? Just seeing that kind of thing?
No one is more racked by imposter syndrome than Bill Hader, and you just want to be like, why are you doing that?
Hey,
You're great. Stop that.
He's amazing. Yeah, no, he's great.
You're great. Why are you? Stop that.
So do you think?
In any case, it's an excellent Bill Hader profile, and it just talks about like their process of filming Barry and like where they came up with the idea and all this. But it's just like Bill Hader is a very nice dude who grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and is still kind of surprised that all of this happened to him, and is he comes across as very kind, decent human, and clearly that's what LeBron and Durant were talking about.
Yeah,
the Tad Friend mediocre profile of Bill Hader.
They were talking about Henry Winkler and how he's just multifaceted with his career.
Henry Winkler grew up 7 blocks from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he grew up on 78th and Broadway, and so the Fonz and I are very close.
So
clearly,
can you hit a jukebox and get to play?
Correctamundo.
Oh, perfect. Do you think LeBron's Laker experience is a cautionary tale?
Look, it's a very weird. Not having LeBron James in the playoffs at all is super weird. I still haven't really processed that, even though the Lakers have been eliminated for a while. I don't know. I think. I keep wondering what LeBron thinks of that decision, because it's clearly a decision he made a while ago.
Right.
And, he also handpicked his supporting cast, and he did a shitty job of it.
Are you calling getting Michael Beasley a shitty job and Lance Stevenson? Like, you're bringing the gang back together.
Look, I will ride or die for the walking bucket. But speaking of random Knicks, Like him and Derek Williams are very much Lee Nailon all-stars.
We're gonna catch lightning in a bottle.
It's. I wonder. I mean, I really. When you're that good at something, like LeBron is the best. Like to comprehend how good LeBron is at basketball, it's really not something you can wrap your head around. And I wonder if he has moments where he thinks, well, that was a mistake, or he permits himself that kind of introspection. I don't know.
Do you think this gives
no
Durant
one
pause?
Here's the thing about LeBron. No one from age 17 has more carefully cultivated and manipulated their public image than LeBron James. And I've said this before, like the fact that LeBron James isn't a crazy person is perhaps more miraculous than anything he's done on the basketball court. Because he's been in the public eye in a way unlike any other professional athlete since he was a child.
I was going to say, Tiger Woods, we found out he was kind of a crazy person.
Right. Tiger Woods, you had to realize, was, hooking up with random Perkins waitresses, and that was his way of dealing with it, which, I'm not going to begrudge him that, because Perkins makes a lovely breakfast. But, like, the fact that LeBron James comes across, or at least has been able to sell himself as being a relatively well-adjusted human being, to me is a remarkable accomplishment. But I wonder if he has these moments of realizing, that probably wasn't the best way to deal with this. Or maybe Rajon Rondo isn't the best point guard for me to play with. Who do you
think they bring in next year? Who's there? The Lakers?
It's going to be Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, that could be. They're going to be out of options.
If you want my prediction about who goes where, Durant goes to the Knicks.
With who?
I have a feeling they've got some extra cap space. I feel like I don't know where that other $35 million is going, but it's not going to Kyrie. Kyrie is going to be Kyrie and decide to stay in Boston and just to fuck with everybody's head.
Who do you want? Who do you want Durant's running mate? Durant is getting another max player here. Who will it be?
My bet is it'll be Kemba.
Kemba.
Yeah.
But Kemba's going to be a backup point guard to Arizona?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like New York gets Durant and some lesser free agent like Kemba. I feel like the Clippers are going to get Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
I think Kyrie is going to re-sign with Boston just to troll everyone. Literally, I believe Kyrie's main motivation is for the lulz. Like, I don't think he cares about anything else other than saying, like, oh, I'm absolutely re-signing with Boston. No, I'm not re-signing with Boston. Where did you ever hear anyone say that? Why are you forcing me to say that? And then, of course, I was resigning with Boston. I always said I was going to re-sign with Boston.
I'm pretty sure Kyrie is going to the Lakers. He's going to be LeBron's running mate.
That would be hilarious.
I think it's happening.
That would be hilarious. But no, I feel like Durant and Kemba go to New York. Maybe Durant and Tobias Harris.
D'Angelo Russell.
I would love D'Angelo Russell in New York.
I would too.
That would be great.
He already plays in New York, actually.
Do you want to max? Brooklyn is in New York. Do you want to max out like D'Angelo?
No. Everyone says they want D'Angelo because they're like, he'll probably take the league minimum.
Yeah,
we'll get him on a discount.
No, D'Angelo Russell is getting $120 million, and everyone can fuck off. That's what D'Angelo Russell is getting.
Of course.
I mean, Brooklyn is going to offer him the max, but
they should.
They should, even if it means that they're paying, $40 million for point guards between him and Spencer Dinwiddie. They're going to do that. But yeah, like D'Angelo and Durant would be great, and then you trade Dennis Smith Jr. for Mikal Bridges.
Well, let's talk about our best asset, which will be, let's say we get Zion. Do the Knicks keep Zion?
Don't say no. If the Knicks get Zion, they're trading him for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Look, this is what all Knicks fans need to reconcile. Even if they get the number one pick, Zion Williamson will never play a minute in New York.
Yeah, no,
the 14% chance of getting Zion is actually 0%. Because if they get him, they are packaging him and Kevin Knox and Dennis Smith and, the Shake Shack in Madison Square Garden to get Anthony Davis.
Let's say New Orleans.
Hopefully they keep Mitch. I just want them to keep Mitch.
Oh, they better keep Mitch. They better keep Mitch.
Do you think that James Dolan will balk at throwing Mitch into that deal?
I'll give you every first-round pick we have for the rest of the time. We didn't ask for a first-round pick. Take the first-round picks. Do you? Well, here's the question. So, do you think? So if the Knicks do not get Anthony Davis, let's say New Orleans is we don't want to do that. What else?
Let's say the Knicks finish third, and so they're staring at R.J. Barrett, who I think is going to be bad. I am getting some I think I really my top three prospects are Zion and then
John Morant.
No, I don't think John Morant is sexy. I think John Morant is royally overrated. I think it's Zion, Jarrett Culver, and Brandon Clark are going to be the three best players out of that draft.
So in other words, if you don't get the number one pick, you should trade it?
I think if you get the 3 pick, you take Culver and walk away happy. Jarrett Culver is going to be extremely good.
Okay.
Jarrett, I am a Jarrett Culver height truther.
Please tell us. I've not heard a lot of people hyping it. I mean, I know he's a big time
Jarrett
prospect.
Culver is listed at 6'5" at the beginning of the year. Now everyone's saying he's 6'6". But if you look at photographs of Jarrett Culver, he might be 6'8".
Frank Ntilikina is currently 7 foot, just to let you know.
Everybody knows this. No one denies this. I'm saying Jarrett Culver is Jarrett Culver at his max is a similar player to Kawhi.
Oh, okay. That's why not? You have to go hype a comp that's really high.
You want me to hype a comp?
Yeah.
Kawhi. You want me to hype another comp? Brandon Clark is a more athletic version of Draymond Green.
Okay. Then who is Barrett? A less athletic version of J.R. Smith?
No. Barrett is a slightly more self-aware Andrew Wiggins.
Oof.
Yeah. That's why I don't like him. I don't like him.
Hey,
I think Cam Reddish will drop and someone will be pleased with his production. I think Cam Reddish is going to be a better NBA player than he was in college, which is not that hard because he was terrible at Duke. Also, Mike Krzyzewski is just a shittier version of John Calipari because boy did he fail to capitalize on that amount of talent.
Do you if you're Cam Reddish, do you take another year in college just to hype your
No. Look, Cam Reddish is not dropping out of the top 8. And so you take that money now and you're fine. He does not need to have the quote unquote killer instinct that everyone wants. Give him enough spacing. He will develop into a very, I think you're going to get a Danny Green type career out of Cam Reddish, and you would be happy with that.
If we can have I was going to say if we have a Danny Green in the Knicks, I'd be ecstatic.
Yes, you would. I think the Cam Reddish is actually bad wave has crossed over from now everyone's dumping on him way too much. The shot hasn't been there. It will be there. I think Cam Reddish is now moved from radically overrated to somewhat underrated. But look, if you want Brandon Clark, or if you want Jarrett Culver, and let's say the Knicks pick third, and Culver is staring at them, take Jarrett Culver. That's fine. Take him. He's going to be very good. John Morant is not as good an athlete as all the dunks portend. John Morant is not as good an athlete as De'Aaron Fox or Russell Westbrook. And he needs to be as good an athlete as those guys in order to survive as a score-first point guard.
Do you think Zion is overrated at all?
No. Zion's going to be great.
Think he's going to be great?
He's going to be better in the pros. He's going to be great.
Okay. The theory is...
Speaking of Draymond Green, people have been he's like Draymond Green with rocket fuel strapped to his ass. And that's what it is. He's got the potential to be the next Charles Barkley.
Right? Yeah,
He's that good.
Here's a question for you.
I have said this from the beginning. I watched all of the dunk highlight films, and I was like, no, that dude is something else. And then there's something about him. The best thing about Zion Williamson is that he seems to be having so much fun being Zion Williamson. Like, this is all very cool and fun to him. And for me, that's an important characteristic. Like, someone enjoying what he does, and he clearly does, that to me is a sign of someone who's going to do great things. Like, no, the hype is not. It's accurate.
Speaking of hype that's accurate, to change subjects a little bit, how good is our boy Mitchell Robinson? What's your take on his amazing rookie year that has made me my nipples erect the entire season?
Please don't discuss your bodily functions with me. I've told you this, and the restraining order made it clear that you're not allowed to do that anymore. But Mitch Rob. I love Mitch Rob. There was a wonderful article by Marc Vorkunov in The Athletic where he showed Mitch a bunch of his awesome dunks, and he asked Mitch to comment on them, and they were straight out of the Crash Davis playbook. Like, he could not have been more boring. Like, yeah, I blocked that. So how did you decide to close out on this 3-point shooter when you were on the ground 2 seconds ago? I ran. And it's like he really could not be more of a less interesting interview, which is fine.
He threw a ball in the air. I grabbed it and put it in baskets. That's what else?
God. He is the kind of the shit he does, even on this absolutely shitty Knicks team in an even more shitty Knicks season, are amazing. Granted, we've all gotten hyped for some Knicks that haven't worked out. Many of us thought that Willie Herman Gomez, for example, was going to be a good NBA basketball player.
Yes,
many of us
we all fell for that one. Yes,
we all fell for that one. I may have thought that Cole Aldrich could have been a valuable NBA center. Going back to
yes,
I may have been one of those people as well.
Look, who hasn't ridden the Cole train?
Who was the Nick that looked like the Predator that had the dreads?
Balkman?
Maurice Nadur. Mo Nadur.
No, him too. But the one that was on the 54 win team. He could shoot the three.
Oh, Chris Copeland.
Chris Copeland. I actually was upset when the Knicks lost Chris Copeland.
I was upset when they lost Chris Copeland. Chris Copeland didn't last.
No. He left the Knicks and suddenly he was no longer a blooming flower.
I know. It's sad. He was a 28-year-old rookie. What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, Mitch Robinson, I would be shocked.
Mitch Robinson is different. Look, right now, I feel like his floor is Clint Capella.
Fun fact:
he can be
Mitchell Robinson.
He can be a rebounding, rim protecting, rim running center. He can have the Tyson Chandler career. That's there for him.
Jay's got a fun fact for you.
He's 24th all time on the Knicks blocks leaders list already.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, he does shit where you're like, I remember watching that video that got passed around of him in an empty gym dunking from the other side of the foul line after one step. That was kind of incredible. And look, you know what I want from the last two games more than the Mario Hejonza point guard experience? You know what I want more than anything?
Is it the Mitchell Robinson point guard experice?
No, I want Mitch to shoot a three.
He supposedly can. His high school coach said he can.
Shoot a three, you coward. You're not Ben Simmons. Shoot a fucking three. I want Mitch to start shooting those threes before the year is over. He's gotten, I think, 2 attempted field goals from outside the painted area all year. Shoot a three.
Why not?
Mitch needs to shoot some threes. I feel like, look, we've watched his free throw form improve as the year has gone by from a, very DeAndre Jordan-esque, maybe I'll make half my free throws on a good day, to, no, I'm a solid 70% from the line. Shoot a three, you coward. Shoot a three. That's what I want more than the only reason I'm watching the last 2 games is to see if Mitch shoots a three. That's what I want. So, in any case, potential-wise, yes, right now, he, like Kevin Knox, he does not know what he's doing on the court. The blocks are cool and awesome, and I enjoy watching them. But he really does not know what to do on defense. And so when he figures that out, he could be a very, very, very good all-defense type NBA player. Absolutely.
He every game also he has like some like hidden post moves that he breaks out every once in a while.
He throws in a little scoop layup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then more and more happens. I am desperately scared that they're going to trade him.
I feel like he's the one guy. Well, I mean, what if Durant signs here? Everything else is out the window. Do whatever you want with his roster if you think you can compete.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what they're going to do. They're going to trade all of these dudes. I worry about what will happen. And I want them. I mean, look, here's the thing. The thing that made trading Porzingis so upsetting is he was our guy. There was an emotional journey from the night he got drafted to watching him in the summer league, to watching him in those first few games, to, that string of 30-point games before he blew out his ACL. Yeah, let's move on.
Fine.
We're moving on.
No, we have a bunch of questions from fans. Can we play lightning round with you with questions? If you don't mind, Robert, can we play lightning round with you?
Let's play. Let's
go.
Okay.
Oscar says from Facebook, resign Mario on a very team-friendly contract, obviously.
I like Mario. I do. I think there's yes, if like the Knicks could get him on a 2-year, $10 million deal when they fail to sign a second star next to Durant. Yeah. I think I mean, call me crazy, call me a Mike Sweetney apologist, but I believe there's a world in which Mario Hezonja is a quality rotation player in the NBA. He can do things.
Do you think if the Knicks fail to sign Durant, they should try to find someone? They should bring back Hejonza and find some guy named Luigi.
Wait, which guy?
There is a Luigi.
Is there a Luigi?
Isn't there a Luigi Diatomi or something like that?
Luigi Datome was a player with the Detroit was a swarthy Italian who played with the Detroit Pistons for a hot minute.
There you go.
Back.
So we could have Mario
that
and
would
Luigi.
be awesome.
Alan writes.
Is there a player named Wario?
Someone's like,
I don't want Luigi.
Dennis Smith's like, I don't want to have the word princess on my uniform. I'm not being the princess. Alan writes.
Dennis Smith will have no uniform number, but just a mushroom on the front of his Knicks jersey.
Alan writes. Every time the Knicks score a basket, you hear like Nintendo sounds.
They actually did that with when Mario was scoring last night. That
would whip ass. Are you telling me that wouldn't be awesome if it didn't have the gold coin sound whenever the Knicks scored? Come on.
Alan writes. Imagine the scenario. Knicks fall to 3 in the draft, or even 2. No Zion. Leonard signs with the Clippers. Knicks sign 2 max free agents. Say Durant and Walker. Kemba. Would you then trade the pick to Toronto for Siakam? Knicks get another top 25-ish player having a breakout year.
Why? Toronto's not doing that. Toronto's not stupid. Toronto's not doing that.
Sorry, for most of our fans' questions, we assume the other team is just drunk or high or like that.
Masai Ujiri suddenly has a debilitating brain aneurysm and says, "Sure, I will trade you a awesome 2-way player for the 3rd pick in the draft."
Maybe
so this is where all our questions go.
Maybe he just has a guilt trip from screwing us twice.
So Raptors start a rebuild around a local kid they have a better chance to re-sign, assuming they draft Barrett.
Wait. You're saying the Raptors are going to build around RJ because he's Canadian. That's the great plan.
Yes, that is our listeners believe this will happen. Is this a route you would like to see the Knicks go if they cannot get the number 1 spot in the draft? So from a Knicks perspective, would you do this?
Yes. I'd also like to acquire a gremlin that farts money. So I will be working towards that in the offseason.
And since this is the Raptors, they are in a different country than us. Would this trade violate the UN code against war criminals,
crimes.
something or other.
All right, we're not. Let's drop the Hague from this line of questioning.
Nick Wright.
Because this
Nick Wright.
trade will never happen. Go on.
Nick
Next
Wright.
question.
Since some are saying Durant to the Knicks is a done deal, does that mean he's going to the Nets or the Clippers?
Well, that would be a very Knicksy act. I mean, honestly, if Durant were just sort of assessing the best case scenario for him, I mean, honestly, look, the Nets are well run. They got all that, they've still got all that
Russian mob money?
Are you saying that 28 other teams with better records than the Knicks might be a better option for him?
I'm saying that, yes, Kenny Atkinson is a very good coach, and Sean Marks is a good GM, and that would probably be a better basketball type
I'm
situation.
hoping Durant doesn't know that Brooklyn is actually in New York.
He's doing a tour. He's being given a tour of Brooklyn, evidently. I read that on the internet.
Oh, is that from? Is there an emoji of me crying next to that?
It's fine. Listen, Kevin Durant is going to come to New York, and it's all going to fail so spectacularly and predictably. He's going to be, not to elevate the power of the tabloids because they aren't what they were, but Kevin Durant in New York is going to be so much freaking extracurricular drama and stupidity. It's going to bork his game like you wouldn't believe. It's going to be bad. I just want to lay the terrain out for all of you so you're not disappointed that when Kevin Durant comes to New York, it's going to be very stupid.
Well, hang on. So Durant comes here. We get Kemba, and we get Anthony Davis, and the Knicks are a bad team.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. We might have a live suicide on the air.
Has 20 years of history taught you nothing?
If Durant comes here, it will have taught me nothing.
Look, he will be the only really superstar free agent to ever sign in New York, so that would be precedent breaking. But it's going to fail badly. You know this.
I think if Durant comes here, we get to the finals.
Please don't use the second person plural. There's no we here. There is they. You are you. You don't go anywhere. You get to watch more sports.
I don't own the Knicks. I thought I owned the Knicks.
No. You don't.
We should probably change the name of the podcast.
You don't play the kazoo. No, you don't own the Knicks.
You didn't. No, Robert. We have a Patreon going that if we raise $500 million a month, we're going to buy the Knicks.
That's awesome. That's great. Good luck with that.
Jorge writes.
We're up to $34.
So apparently,
that'll get you a couple of appetizers at Nobu.
Wherever 5 billion minus 34, that's how far away we are.
You should go to get a nice bowl of ramen. You can get some you two can go out to a great meal at a ramen place in New York for that.
Jorge writes, so apparently Mario only knows how to play at the end of the season. What's your explanation for why Mario could not play for the first 78 games of the season?
He's a Knick. No, I mean, look, who has he put up? He put up numbers in garbage time against Orlando and against
garbage time against Houston.
Garbage time against Houston and an equally tanking Wizards team. Realistically, these are the dictionary definition of empty calories. He's putting up numbers against people who don't care.
It's completely a mirage. We know this. We're looking at fake water in the desert at the same time.
This is Marty Collins triple-double territory like you read about.
Well, let's pretend we believe in it. Why not? Kevin writes, hey guys, let's say the basketball gods opened up the skies at MSG. They descend from the pearly gates and hover above the garden. While Knicks fans marvel and in awe while this crappy band named the Dandy Warhols plays in the background.
Hey.
They said they are willing to give us the overall number 1 pick, but it would come with a price. They said everyone has to sacrifice something in order for this to happen. What would you guys honestly give up? Seriously, will Marc give up his Jew gold that he carries in a bag around his neck?
Wow.
We have another comedy podcast called Brink of Sanity where our fans often get anti-Semitic.
Wow. First of all, Jew gold should not be carried in a pouch. You should sign it and you should sew it into the lining of your coat.
Is Jew gold, is that capitalized? You capitalize
Yes,
that, or is
yes,
it
capital J, capital G, and it goes in the lining of your coat, not into a pouch where it can be snatched by the Nazis. You want to keep it in a secret place. That's the whole point of the Jew gold. Unlike the leprechaun's gold by the Devil Irish.
Robert, we have
rainbow.
Robert, we have a lot of listeners in Switzerland, and now they know where the gold is.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
I just want to slander the Devil Irish for a moment.
So what would you give up? What would you be willing to give up for everything to work out? We get the number one pick, all the free agents come here, and it works out positively, not negatively.
What would I give up and let go of? By the way, that was a hell of a throat-clearing question from our man there. He really that was like the long ass Jason Vargas wind-up of questions.
You know what? He's got it. Yeah, it was a good question. Thank you, Kevin.
What would I give up? I would give up the most precious Knicks artifact that I have, which is a Ken the Animal Bannister jersey from 1985. Game-worn Ken the Animal Bannister jersey.
Okay. Jay?
I would definitely give up my Porzingis jersey.
Oh man, I gotta give away. I am planning to send my Porzingis basketball Sevilla from the ACB League jersey that I bought, my knockoff that I got made in the Philippines or wherever. I'm gonna send it to my friend who's a Dallas Mavericks fan and let him be cursed with that. I gotta get that thing out. It's haunting my closet.
Same here.
Yeah. It's a very pretty jersey, but I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, those all sound. Robert, what would you allow? What humiliating thing would you allow done to yourself?
That I haven't done already?
Yes. Would you walk around outside for an entire day in New York City naked?
What would I give up?
Would you shave? Would you shave all body hair?
No. That's a lot of shaving.
Would you
as an Ashkenazi Jew? That's a lot of shaving to be done.
Would you cut off a toe from Jay's body?
Yeah, that I would do. I would give up Jay's toe. I would go full Big Lebowski and be like, and cut off her Amy Mann's toe. That happened.
Nick takes a different question, not a non-Nick question. It's about OKC. Guys, okay. I know you don't follow the league too much, but Paul George is hurt.
Is he?
Is he hurt?
I think he's playing hurt.
He's playing hurt. Yeah. I thought he was still playing, but OKC has kind of fallen off lately, and we were talking.
They're having a weird year in OKC.
Yeah, because they looked really. Paul George looked like an MVP candidate, but I guess he's playing hurt. That will take things down a notch.
Yeah, we watched the Dennis Smith playing hurt experience last night, and that was not pretty. Like Dennis Smith passing up on a monster dunk because he didn't want to hurt his back.
Yeah,
it makes me wonder. Look, the Knicks are rightly not playing Emmanuel Mudiay because he's hurt, but Dennis Smith, who's been told that he can't hurt himself worse, wants to play through the pain because the Knicks don't want to see more of Billy Garrett. I don't understand this decision. It feels to me like a weird, we don't want to have the worst record in Knicks history, so we're going to go for it kind of mindset.
Mm-hmm. If Durant does not sign here, we don't get any big name free agents.
Yeah.
But we get the number 2 pick in the draft. How good could this team be next year?
Look,
not bad.
Here's the thing: with all of the history that the Knicks have of coming up with these grand plans and then scrapping them at a moment's notice, if Durant and all the big free agents say "go fuck yourself," and they get the number 2 pick, and so they have Ja Morant, you know what? Cap space does not have to be spent this year. It does not have to be spent next year. You can take on a bad contract and acquire more picks and stink again for a year, and that's honestly fine.
So what do you think the next year's team would be? How many wins? Are they another 15-win team?
Yeah,
are they getting
look, if that happens, they will be another 15 to 20-win team. And that's okay. That's really okay.
Will they ever not be a 15 to 20 win team? Like, will this happen?
I think they will be good. It may take some time, but they'll be good.
Sam writes, if we miss out on Zion and Morant with the top 2 picks, do you think we can flip our pick for a star player? Don't want Barrett. He's inefficient. He's an inefficient DeMar DeRozan. Reddish should stay at Duke, and any other player is not even worth mentioning.
These people don't understand the brilliance of Jared Culver. These people do not understand how good Jared Culver is. They're wrong. But in any case, go on.
If we package Knox, Frank, and picks 3 through 5, one of those, like a pick 3 or pick 4, what could we get for that? Can we turn that into a very good player?
Yeah, they could, but like who do you think they're getting? I mean, it's
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, like that's what you're getting. You're getting a player as good as DeMar DeRozan, who's very good, but not good enough to win more than like 48 games. And I guess if you want to, cash out for that, that's fine. But I don't think it's the best way to go.
Marcus writes, hey guys, what do you think our starting 5 plus 6 man will be next season? And what do you want our starting 5 plus 6 man to be? What do you think the starting 5 will be next season?
My prediction, going to be, I will tell you, it's going to be Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Kemba Walker, Damian Dotson.
Sorry, just name those 3 guys and name Damian Dotson as a.
I know, it's kind of weird, right? Damian Dotson.
And Mitch. Mitch. You think Mitch is gone?
I think Mitch is gone. I think they're going to trade Mitch for Anthony Davis.
Okay, so who's the 5th guy?
The 5th guy is going to be like fucking Kyle Korver or some shit like that. It's going to be woke Kyle Korver.
Weird team. That's a very weird team.
I think they will, and then they're going to have to fill out the roster with veterans on minimum contracts who are, hunting for a title.
If you were, so let's say the Knicks do get the Durant, and
Kyle
they get
Korver,
Kemba.
though, Kyle Korver, very woke. Did you read Kyle Korver's Player Tribune blog? Very woke.
I did not. What woke issues was he talking about? And
Kyle Korver says the white man may not be, directly responsible for systemic racism, but he plays a role in perpetuating it.
How is he not directly responsible?
Like, you may not be directly responsible for creating a system of structural racism, but he profits by it, and so what's necessary is to dismantle those systems. It's a very woke blog.
Hey, do you think there's a chance that we can all society get rid of the word woke?
Yes.
Okay. Just do you so okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
No. I think that's what it is. It's like Damian Dotson, Alonzo Trier, and and maybe they bring back Ron Baker.
If you could play Knicks GM, you have control over this. Would you hold out? Like if the New Orleans said we need Zion and Mitchell Robinson, would you hold back and just say I'm not going to make that trade?
I mean, me personally, yeah.
Yeah, you personally, you're the GM.
Look, what's the Lakers are going to shove their Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, poo-poo platter back on the table, but a Zion Williamson plus Kevin Knox plus a couple of draft picks is a better offer.
If you could hold out Mitch Robinson, if you can get Mitch Robinson to be on this team with the Durant, that's what I would rather trade the Zion, I'd rather keep Zion also, but I'd be more willing to trade Zion. I want to keep Mitchell Robinson because I think he'd be a great anchor on that team.
I don't know. You need a little more floor spacing if your front line is Mitch and Kevin and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, I'm a bit late. I'm a bit late with this one. It relates to that guy that yelled "sell the team" and got the lifetime ban.
Oh, that guy.
From what I've heard, isn't the MSG crowd mostly made up of tourists making their once-in-a-lifetime trips? And by the way, Lorenzo here is from Australia. Can't we just rally all the tourists to yell at Dolan? Then when they receive a ban, it has no impact because they're only here for the one time they're
I am very upset with Knicks fans for not after that happened, they should have all yelled "Sell the team" at Dolan. Like if they were real New Yorkers buying those seats, they would have all just screamed in his face again and again and again. I'm very disappointed with everyone who didn't troll the hell out of Dolan. That makes me mad.
Lorenzo finishes by saying every immigrant must be able to yell "Sell the team" before they can enter the country.
Yeah, that seems fair to me.
Which is actually, I think, Trump's new policy at the border.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's very fair. I mean, Dolan, oh God, that entire affair was amazing to me because it was such an easy win. All he had to do, you get caught on tape, and in a moment you want to tell some guy who's being a dick to fuck off. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, I understand that. You're leaving another Knicks loss, and some rando is yelling at you. You might not react well. Fine. All he had to do was the next day say you know what? I understand. You're disappointed. I'm disappointed. Come watch practice. And you know what? Suddenly he looks like a hero.
Well, according to his complete bullshit interview he did on ESPN, he was going to do that.
He was going to. And he had to say that he knew the right thing to do, but instead deferred to being a petty, vindictive asshole. That to me was amazing. He actually knew the way to handle this, in which the supposedly brutal New York media would have lapped up with a spoon, and he still didn't do it. And he had to tell everyone that he knew the right thing to do. That, to me, kiss his fingers like Italian chef for 8 hours, because he knew what to do. And it was so easy to turn this into a win, and still he had to defer to being an asshole. Amazing. Just amazing. Amazing. I do, though, by the way, I do believe that he's going to sell the team.
You do?
Because, I absolutely do.
I do think he will sell the team when our Patreon gets up to $500 million a month.
No,
so
look,
fans,
look. The thing I will say about James Dolan is he is incredibly stupid, but he's not dumb.
Why would you sell the team?
There's a difference. Because the sports media valuation, the sports team valuation bubble is going to break.
Right, but
it's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 years.
So you think because the TV contracts will disappear?
The TV contracts will disappear, and they're not worth nearly as much as they're going to be. The Knicks will not. Depends on what happens. Legalizing gambling is potentially a game changer. But I still think the Knicks will never be worth more than the $6 billion rather he could get for them right now, and Dolan knows that.
Well, would you take the argument that let's just say he gets $6 billion from him right now? Well,
yes,
let's just say you can, you probably can. You're a rich guy like James Dolan. You pretty much have everything you want. What do you buy? What's the best boy?
You don't understand. It's not about getting more money. It's not about saying I really need $6 billion to be able to afford, No,
I'm saying the $6 billion is having the team is more valuable than having $6 billion to him because it's the ultimate toy.
No. He doesn't want the toy. He wants to win. He doesn't want to win games, not games. He wants to win at the game of getting the most for his piece of equity. That's the win. It's not the money. It's the size of the check. He doesn't, with all rich people, it doesn't matter. Look, read the New York Times' investigation of long-ass thing on the Murdochs. Why did they sell most of the Fox properties that weren't Fox News to Disney? Because they got the most for them that they possibly could. None of those people need more money.
Do you think we could...
the size of the check.
I mean, that's all very fair. Do you think we can make James Dolan go through the Michael Douglas version of the game?
Well, that would be cool. For
That'd be cool.
For
all of you that have seen that movie.
Yes. For all of you who've seen the follow-up to 7. Look, I do think he realizes that he can, like, the Knicks' value in the next couple of years is as high as it's going to be. All of these sports franchises are going to plummet in value. The one possible reason why they wouldn't be the influx of gambling money.
I mean, if he...
and I think he will. I really think he will. I mean, it's not like Bill Simmons is a trusted reporter, but he's not going to, like, make up shit and lie. And if he's heard that, he's heard it.
I mean, if Durant signs here, really, Dolan should sell the team the next day because the value will not go higher.
And because no one will like him, like, he will be as beloved in New York as he ever will be.
That's true. By leaving New York, basically, he'll be the most beloved person in New York.
If like, he said, like, okay, here's Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and now I'm going to ride off into the sunset. He will be, no one in New York will ever like him more. Because, one, I think that even if they get, like, Durant and Kyrie, it's still going to fail miserably, and Dolan doesn't want to be around when that happens. And also, he can get $6 billion.
I mean, $6 billion is a lot of money. He could build his Scrooge McDuck thing where he can just swim in the money.
Well, look, he wants to invest in live events, and that's not a stupid strategy because honestly, the entire value of the Knicks is intrinsically tied up in the MSG network, and the value of the MSG network is only going to diminish over time. Like, literally, I had a financial analyst tell me this for an article, which is that the Knicks and Rangers exist so that MSG Network has programming. But that's where the real value of the team is. Like, if he could find other programming that he could charge those amount of bundled cable feed for, he would do it. Like, that would be just as valuable as owning the Knicks.
Right. Live broadcasting basically drives cable subscriptions. And when cable goes away, then it's all for shit. It
will, like, the NBA's contract runs out in 2024, I believe, and it's going to be a very, very, very different landscape. Same thing with the NFL's contracts. I don't know how they, like, ESPN cannot keep affording those fees. The cable companies can't.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah.
It's going to be. I think Dolan is. I don't want to call him. Like I said, it's the difference between being. He's a very stupid man, but he's not dumb. And I think he understands which way the financial winds are blowing. And I do think if someone came in and said, here's a check for $6 million, he would walk away.
So you think he had Katie Holmes sit next to him at yesterday's game. And I'm no body
which is awesome.
I'm no body language expert, but she looked like she was trying to fit into the 20% of the chair that was nowhere near James Dolan. It was.
Hasn't Katie Holmes like sat next to Dolan in multiple games? Like, I feel like that's been a thing before.
Yeah, I think that's her like designated seat. And I saw at one point she like leaned over and said something to him, and he had no reaction at all. It's like, are you really trying to play too cool with Katie Holmes? Come on, guys.
I mean, Katie Holmes bought into Scientology. Maybe she's buying into JD and the Straight Shots.
Yeah. Maybe she just wanted to watch a ball game. Look, I would sit next to all manner of assholes for like third row seats.
She's like, the fat short guy is sitting next to me again. Who is this guy?
I think that would be a great article to talk to all the 20-something women who seem to be sitting next to James Dolan for all these games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be great.
Like when the rude man yelled at James Dolan, he was preceded by a line of young women who I just want to go to like, what? Who are you? Why do you know this man? And why are you spending time with him?
Yeah, walk me through the process of how you ended up here.
Please. Yes. Why do you want to see a team that has won now 16 games? Why is that important to you?
Oh, he's going to put you in a movie? Did you all fall for that line?
No. I would. That would be a blog I would read. Is talking with
you find out that James Dolan's been running a real life casting couch.
No, I don't think he's Harvey Weinstein as much as he's been friends with Harvey Weinstein over the years. Like, did you read that mea culpa, like the song he wrote about Harvey Weinstein?
I should have known. That's his biggest hit.
Did
Really?
you see this? There's a song he wrote about feeling sad that he did not know that his friend was a serial alleged rapist.
Mark, you got to brush up on your JD and the straight shot.
Yeah.
I only follow alleged rapists that play for the Knicks. On that
All
note,
right. Any more questions? This is getting really bleak.
that got bleak. So that is so. Thank you, Robert, for joining us. Can I ask one more question? Can you give us one
Sure.
bold hot take for the offseason?
Sure. My hottest take for the off season is hottest take for the off season. I think I've had it already. I think I've told you already, which is like no matter what, the Knicks' chances of getting Zion Williamson are 0. If they, if they land on the 86% of lottery ping pong balls that aren't the number one pick, they don't get Zion, and if they land the number one pick, they're trading him.
Actually,
So
I think
that's my hottest take is that the Knicks, that the chances of Zion Williamson playing for the Knicks are actually 0.
are statistically bad.
Are 0. It's impossible.
Actually,
There's
you're
0 chance. That
you are correct about that. You also have made the hot take that the Knicks will get Durant and it'll still work out terribly.
Yes, that is my take.
That's a pretty hot take. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no, it was awesome having you on. Anything you want to mention? Anything you want to plug for our listeners?
I've got a cool story that should be on Deadspin.com in a couple of days that has nothing to do with basketball, but does involve Ethan Hawke.
Do you want to give us a quick preview of it?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Fine. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, one thing. Are we done recording?
We can be. I will hit
we
pause
can
right
be.
now.
Yeah.
Hit off.
My love. Goodbye.